Welcome back. Supporters of Kenyan opposition leader Raila Odinga have launched an online petition to have him nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Now, the petition, which has 1,888 signatures so far, says Mr. Odinga saved Kenya from turning into bloody civil war by shaking hands with rival Uhuru Kenyatta after last year's disputed elections. Mr. Odinga is also praised for what the petition describes as sacrificing his freedom for peace. President Uhuru Kenyatta was declared winner of a controversial rerun of the presidential election in October last year, in which Mr. Odinga pulled out of the rerun and urged his supporters to boycott it. And in South Sudan, a brand new police station has been commissioned and handed over to the country's National Police Service. The station was constructed by the UN mission in South Sudan with the help of a local NGO, Women Aid Vision, opening doors of optimism for improved security for the local community.
The new police station is located near the protection of civilian sites in Juba, South Sudan's capital. The checkpoint community leader, Joseph Akol Makar, expressed the community's gratitude towards United Nations mission in South Sudan and local NGO Women's Aid. He believes the new police station will bring more protection of the local civilians.
This will protect the civilians who normally move from the protection of civilian sites, POCS, to the market and back to the POCS. Some of these IDPs fall victims of night kidnaps, but from today, I assure you that the security will be good.
To help curb these incidents, United Nations missions in South Sudan began to construct the police station in March 2018 under its Quick Impact Projects program. The UN Police Commissioner, who led the handover ceremony, emphasized the significance of the new police station.
This police post should be a symbol of trust and confidence in the community to ensure public order, tranquility and safety within the locality.
She says it was necessary to make sure that the community leaders have the confidence to come forward and report crimes and also to assist the police in their work.
It is incumbent on SSNPS, our counterpart, to provide a conducive environment for the community to have the confidence and trust to visit this police station as victims of crimes, especially victims of sexual and gender-based violence, or even to provide necessary information that would assist in policing.
The checkpoint police station is expected to improve the visibility and accessibility of the police to enable them to effectively respond to the needs and concerns of the communities that they serve.
One of the vice presidents of the Indian Ocean nation of Comoros has survived an assassination attempt days before a referendum on constitutional reform. Local media reports that assailants opened fire on the car of Mustadrani Abdul as he was returning to his home on the island of Anjouan. Now, this attack comes a week before a controversial referendum that could allow President Azali Assoumani to extend his term in office and abolish the vice presidential post. Now, many Ethiopians who were forced to flee their country more than 2 decades ago were excited about the possibility of returning home. Under new Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's administration, many of them in different countries around the world are greeting the momentous political changes with tears and cheers. Some of them share their thoughts.
39-year-old Kasahun Gebrehana left Ethiopia 17 years ago after running into political problems with the government, a common refrain among the millions of Ethiopians who left to build new lives in Africa, Europe, or the United States. Kasahun owns an Ethiopian cuisine restaurant in Johannesburg called Little Addis. Now, after a 3-month-old political revolution sparked by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed gathers pace, he is thinking it's time to go back home.
Holiday? I'm not going for a holiday. I'm going there. I'm going back. Because now you can see the wishes that you had just happened. Just out of the blue, it just happened.
Many departed in the 1980s, fleeing the brutal Derg military dictatorship that ruled Ethiopia from the overthrow of Emperor Haile Selassie in 1974 until the late 1980s. Others followed later as the Horn of Africa nation was driven by ethnic conflict, culminating in a brutal 1998 to 2000 border war with neighboring Eritrea, in which an estimated 80,000 people were killed. Even after the guns fell silent, others fled the pervasive authoritarianism of the ruling Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front coalition.
When I saw it on the television, I was very much emotional, and I was watching that program, it was full of tears, because when you see the Eritrean people, Ethiopians and Eritreans, we are one, I can say one society, one community.
I'm glad it happened because it might even give a hope for the entire region. For instance, for Somalia, we need Somalia to be peaceful. For South Sudan, we need South Sudan to be peaceful. So these two countries can actually bring that hope into the region. So I was actually blown up. I'm still digesting it, because it all happened suddenly and it went really fast. And sometimes you just have to, stand back and see.
Members of the diaspora coming back with their skills and dollars could boost an economy starved of foreign exchange and hobbled by the legacy of decades of Soviet-style central planning.
And as we end the program today, an amateur artist in the Egyptian coastal city of Alexandria draws tiny portraits of celebrity actors and sports stars on chewing gum, pills and pumpkin seeds. To have a look.
Egyptian artist Ahmed Ragab wanted to draw a portrait but couldn't find a piece of paper. Instead, he carved the portrait on a small piece of chewing gum. His tools include a magnifying glass and a thin-tip pencil, which he uses to draw local and international celebrities on the delicate canvases.
I work with my father in a supermarket, and I started drawing on different things. I had a pencil but could not find a paper. I decided to draw on a piece of unchewed gum. I drew an eye, and it looked good. I decided to draw a whole portrait on the piece of chewing gum. I tried over and over until I mastered the process.
He extended his skills by drawing large portraits using chocolate, spices and coffee.
The thing that is difficult about drawing using chocolate is to find the different shades, whether bright or dark. Also, it is difficult to highlight details, whether inside the eye, mouth or nose, or even drawing the hair. To show that, I used a non-traditional medium to create a drawing, which is very difficult.
Pictures of his art pieces are circulated on social media platforms in Egypt, shooting the 26-year-old artist to fame, with many enthusiasts asking to buy his art. For him, drawing on tiny canvases has become his own way of escaping trouble and a bad mood.
That's rather creative. And that's where we end today's program. Thank you for watching. I'm Bisi Adebayo.